All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. It is Bueller and Dodge on the mics, giving you the news, breaking down fight cards, and of course, reviewing and previewing fight cards as well. And yeah, we're brought to you on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also on iTunes, you can subscribe. You can find us at splitdecisionmma.com. And if you want to throw us a like on Facebook, we'd appreciate it. That's Split Decision MMA Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, SD_MMA. And if you want some mixed martial arts apparel, check out Americana.rocks. That's ROCKS. And Fatty will hook you up with a sweet deal. If you put in SDMMA as your code, you get a discount. We never know what it is, but it's always surprising. Spin the wheel. Seriously. Could be $5, could be free. I have no idea.
Hey, but on a side note, if you want to know, if you're in Northern California and you want to call Toronto, where Fatty is, even if you have unlimited minutes with AT&T, it's $1.75 a minute. That was a $28 speech by Fatty on the episode 5 episodes ago.
Aren't you glad that I cut him off when I did that?
He was in Canada.
I can't even call Canada, bro.
You can't?
I've got a free endorsement phone and I can't call Canada. I get a letter from AT&T going, don't do that.
I thought, because isn't half of Toronto in here and then half of Toronto's over there?
I think all of Toronto is considered Canada.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh. Except for where the Blue Jays are.
God damn it.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to break down the Fight Pass card from last week. We're going to jump into the UFC on Fox going down tomorrow, which looks like a great card. But, of course, before we get there, we're going to talk about some news. We got Dillashaw and Barouche, some issues there, huh?
We got a couple things going on right now. We have some fight announcements, UFC on Fox 16, which is going to be going down. What is that?
Is that tomorrow, the 16th?
No, this is going to be, I'm trying to find the data, July 25th.
July 25th.
You're going to have Anthony Pettis against Miles Jury, and then you're going to have Miesha Tate against Jessica Ai.
All right.
Are you excited for that at all?
Yeah, both of them. Both of them are great.
Okay, this is also going to be the return of Dillashaw Barouche, since Dillashaw Barouche got pulled from the last event because Dillashaw had a rib injury. This will be the rescheduling, so this will be live on Fox free.
That's pretty cool to see that fight for free.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Pettis versus Jury and Tate versus I. That's a good free card right there. But you throw on Dillashaw and Barouche, that's awesome.
Since they've had to reschedule this fight now twice.
They'll have to reschedule it again. But it'll be something to look forward to until it happens. Dillashaw's going to roll an ankle. Barouche.
Is this going to be like the Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard thing where he just keeps getting pushed and rolled? And
so far it is.
It's going to be a draw, and then we're going to have to see him fight again. And
yes. Put your money on it right now.
That's what's going on.
This is just their second fight, right?
Yes.
God, man, it seems like it's been forever. It's wild.
Remember Matt Brown and Nate Diaz were supposed to fight.
Well, was that ever official?
From the UFC, it was.
Said it was, but Nate said it was not.
Nate said no.
Right, okay.
So now it's been unofficial. It
now
has been
canceled?
Officially canceled.
So it was to be canceled, it had to have been official at some point.
Yes, the UFC announced that it was happening.
So somehow Nate Diaz found a way to back out of this fight?
He said he never signed anything. They jumped the gun. He said, yeah, I'll talk about fighting Matt Brown. And they're like, cool, we announced he got Matt Brown.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't sign that.
No tags back.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was his agent or manager's mistake.
It's quite possible.
Like, the manager probably was like, oh, yeah, Nate'll do that. And then they went ahead and announced it, and he was like, I don't want to do that.
No. and then they took away the Anthony Pettis. He wanted to fight Pettis, remember? They're like, nope, he's fighting Miles Jury.
Yep, too bad.
He's gone.
Too bad, so sad. Now you have no fight.
Fight's gone.
No money.
Anderson Silva says he would like to fight Nick Diaz in a rematch in Brazil. Says he has unfinished business.
They're going to kill him.
Which
That's
one?
why he wants it.
That's
to
what I'm saying. He's just luring him down.
Yeah.
Would you see that fight again?
I would totally watch that fight again.
Yeah.
I would 100% watch that fight again.
Well, it would be cool if they just both laid down on each other. I mean, not on each other, but
like just laid down.
I don't know what kind of weird shit you got.
Yeah.
Just lay down in their corners and pose.
Yeah.
Like Sports Illustrated poses. Fantastic.
Just having a dance battle. But if that doesn't work out, Anderson Silva says he would like to represent the Brazilian Olympic Taekwondo team.
I heard about this. He'll be 40
2016.
by the time this rolls around.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's a good or bad idea, honestly.
Well, one of the Olympians that is on the Brazilian Taekwondo team said, let's stop kidding.
Well, what does Joe Rogan have to say about it? Joe Rogan's a Taekwondo champion.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's talked to Joe Rogan about it
That's
yet.
interesting. I would like to hear Joe Rogan's opinion because he's not him not being an Olympian.
Get on your radio phone and hook it up. Talk to
I'll text
Joe
him.
Rogan.
Gives me more of an honest opinion from him because this guy who's on the TKD team, obviously he's going to have to pump himself up and put Silva down.
He says myself and most Taekwondo athletes are fed up with this thing about Anderson Silva trying to apply for the Olympic Games. He can't. He can try just like anyone who is officiated by the regulations can. Many people are taking this very seriously. I don't think this is more than just a joke. All right, I don't think this is more than a joke. It's some sort of marketing. Well, he's very upset that...
fine. Well, then, yeah, let's stop kidding. Let Anderson Silva go ahead and give it a shot. If he makes it, then he makes it. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. It's that simple.
George made the Olympic Canadian team for wrestling.
But didn't he just do that because he wanted to train with him?
He wanted to train with him, but they said he technically qualified.
So he could have actually
competed in the Olympics, but he wasn't on the team.
Okay. Because he did it for training purposes.
He did it for training purposes.
But Anderson Silva saying that he actually wants to compete.
He actually wants to compete.
And what everybody's asking of me now is with the strict Olympic drug testing, how that's going to work out with the Anderson Silva situation. I mean, obviously, we've given him the benefit of the doubt for the most part on this show.
Yep.
For the one-time testing positive. Yes, it was somebody had to point out it was technically 2 tests. Yes, it was before and after the fight. It was a one-time deal.
One-time deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he can do it, if he can pass the test and then he can qualify for the Olympics, then why the hell not let him do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see an issue.
Speaking of the drug testing, recently UFC lightweight Bobby Green has came out and said that he believes Rafael dos Anjos was on PEDs during his win.
They already tested him.
Exactly. He was already tested. He came back clean. He said, I just don't understand. He says, I think he hurt his MCL or ACL 2 weeks before the fight. Who does that and still goes into the fight and fights their ass off, kicks, knees, and punches like it's no problem?
Hulk.
He's like, this guy's got super better. His cardio has gotten better. His chin has gotten better. Everything. Something is going on. And even Anthony said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong. I thought everything was great. Camp was great. I can't figure out what you did wrong. And this Bobby Green says, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You just don't know what happened because you got bamboozled. You got played. That's the way it looks. Look at him. That's not how your body's supposed to look after you're coming off of injury.
Was there ever an official injury, or was that just a ploy by the camp? Because they do that kind of shit all the time.
This was Rafael dos Anjos saying that he had torn MCL and ACL.
But was there ever a medical thing? I mean, that's always a ploy.
Yeah, we don't know.
Damn. I mean, how many guys have said they broke a finger or a hand or something?
Plus, it was probably something that drove him, too. He probably knew if he had to be on the defense, maybe that injury drove him.
Yeah, it's very true. Rafael dos Anjos has recently said, people want to talk about the spotlight. Nobody wants to give credit. He says, even though my post-fight test came back clean, people still want to talk about it and not value what I conquered. You have to learn to deal with that. People just like to badmouth. Bobby Green can think whatever he wants. The next time I train with him, I'm not going to take it easy like I did before.
This is silly.
Why did you take it easy before?
Did you say training or
in
fight?
Training.
I don't give a shit.
You can't go 100% in training.
Oh, really? You want to call Reem?
No, I don't want to call Reem. You're not supposed to do it.
Jamie Varner says no. Remember, he's had concussions in training.
You ain't supposed to do it.
He didn't even remember saying that.
You're supposed to go like 50%.
50?
Only 50%?
You can, but you only go 50%, so you get punched one time in the face.
I don't know. I'm a football player. We were told you practice how you play.
That's different.
You got pads to protect you.
All right, yeah.
Phil Davis is no longer with the UFC.
All right.
Remember, he was in contract negotiations last time we talked. He is now signed with Bellator.
Mr. Wunderbar.
Mr. Wunderbar is going to Bellator.
So Bellator means recycling in some language?
Italian. Must
Italian.
be. Right? That's what it means?
Yes. As a Sicilian, I can confirm this. Bellator means recycling.
I got some good money for my Bellator.
No, and like I tweeted out, I mean, I give Coker all props. I mean, you're going to squeeze a couple. He's going to squeeze a couple more dollars out of this guy.
He's like the Oakland A's. We're going to take the guys early on in their career. We're going to let them go have a great career, and then when you're at the end of your career, we want you back.
Yeah, I think that's just the Oakland thing. Oakland A's, Oakland Raiders.
Say that.
As
an Oakland fan, I can say that. I know this.
You understand that?
We just signed Barry Zito. What fucking year is it?
Hey, you can start your career here. You can end your career here.
That's exactly what they do.
Dude, but like, again, Tito Bonner, record show.
Right?
What year is it? We just had Nick Diaz. What year is it?
Bellator is like the cuckold of MMA. We're gonna get you guys ready, and then we're gonna watch you be really successful. But when you're all done being successful, we'll still take you back.
Come back. Benson Henderson will fight Michael Johnson at the Ultimate Fighter 20 finale, which Ultimate Fighter 20 starts next week.
Holy crap.
Are you excited?
Right. Yeah, because I get something else to watch now.
Black Azilians against American Top Team. Apparently there's some bad blood. There's some angry coaches.
How many times have we heard this quote? I've never met two guys who hate each other so much since the last episode.
Since the last couple of guys I met.
Yeah.
They hated each other so much. I'm interested to see how this format plays out. If it's successful, I would love to see more.
Allegedly, the next one has already been called. It is not going to be team-based.
God damn it!
I was talking to the people from Last Stand Fight Team. They kept trying to tweet it out, trying to do the alpha male thing. They wanted to go fight alpha male, and they were like, apparently the next one they're not going to do a team thing. It's just going to be one weight class.
God damn it!
But it doesn't mean it's over. It can come back. You never know. They can shake it back up.
It's just every other one is going to be team-based.
Because really, right, we actually had 3 toughs going on this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Shake them up.
Whatever.
Matt Hughes' recent interview with the Ground and Pound online.
I'll be honest with you, though. I mean, as much as I dig Last Stand Fight Team, when you're going for name notoriety, it would have made more sense for like AKA to go up against
sure.
But I don't know how the weights are. AKA up against
yeah, I think the reason is Last Stand Fight Team, they have a lot more similar weight classes when it comes down to Team Alpha Male. Not only that, plus Team Alpha Male is also a lot closer to Last Stand Fight Team, and so when they fight locally, they do fight each other a lot.
And I understand that too, but if you're going for name notoriety and ratings, which the UFC would want to go for, I would see it more if it was a NorCal thing. It would be AKA versus if the weight classes made it possible. Weight wise, Last Stand makes more sense, but notoriety wise, I'm not trying to say anything bad about either one, but
AKA is Central Cal.
If you have a Central Cal, I don't have a Central Cal. I got a NorCal and I got a SoCal, and that's it. I'm not splitting this fucker up into 3.
It's a big state.
They were trying to do it in 5s at one point.
Hey, they're at the elbow.
We got Helical. We're gonna have Yay Area.
We
got Urukai. Right. We got Central Valley.
AK is the Prince Albert.
Wait.
Wow. It's the gooch.
Matt Hughes said he would come back with one phone call from Dana White to fight in the UFC.
To fight?
One phone call, he would come back.
Come back and fight Dennis Hallman.
No, he says he wants to fight Matt Serra again.
No, I want him to fight Dennis Hallman. So that one phone call has to be Matt Serra. No, come back and fight Dennis Hallman. No, he said he'd fight
anybody. Yeah. He's into the competition right now. The only way he has competition is he's hunting animals.
I want to watch him fight Dennis Hallman.
All right.
That's what I want to see. If he comes back, I want it to be against Dennis Hallman.
Is he MMA fighting these animals? That would be interesting as hell.
That's the competition.
I don't think it would, because he's like 5'6". I don't think it'd be that awesome.
What's an ostrich?
Wait, I've seen people ride those, right?
That was Steve Irwin did. He was MMA fighting animals.
That is true. That's what the Crocodile Hunter did. Yeah,
and he got knocked out by a stingray.
Oh.
What? Too soon?
Yeah, way too soon. Conor McGregor got a new tattoo.
Yeah, talking about animals.
Is it the tiger?
See the tiger?
Look at it.
I like the eye of the tiger.
Hey, that tattoo's great.
That's. Here we go. Are you ready? We're getting closer. Zoom in. That is the tiger he got tattooed. It looks photoshopped.
It's the nose of the tiger. It looks like a butthole. The tiger's got a butthole nose, man.
I don't understand this tattoo. I mean, the gorilla with the weird on his chest I didn't understand, but this is like a photorealistic tiger compared to the rest of his tattoos. I just don't understand. And it's on his stomach.
I don't understand the belly button butthole nose thing.
Because it's a BJ background, dude. It's like go down and you go eye to eye with the tiger. You and the tiger eye to eye.
No. His quote is, are you ready for it? His quote about his new tattoo is, if you see the tiger, it's too late, you're food.
Because you're already on your knees?
Because if you're eye to eye with that tiger, I mean... The underground.
Hold that tiger. Hey.
The underground went crazy photoshopping damn near everything to replace his tattoo.
Where's the butthole in the Tiger Woods face, though?
Yeah, I like that.
They photoshopped the butthole out.
My Little Pony. That's ridiculous.
I love how tattoo artists are just willing to take anybody's money.
Oh, yeah. Ask the guy who did your Never tattoo.
Seriously.
Yeah, right? That's unbelievable. A tiger who got McGregor tattooed on his belly.
Speaking of Conor McGregor, he was recently interviewed.
Did they make Ronda Rousey's mole bigger in that?
Yeah.
It was his nipple.
His nipple?
His nipple was her mole.
It's just mean.
Buck melanoma. Ronda Rousey's mole. I'm not her mole. I'm her tumor.
Recently sat down with Esquire magazine and said that he would kill Floyd Mayweather in 30 seconds or less. If he fought Floyd Mayweather, he would kill him in 30 seconds or less.
he was going to take care of Silva in 2 minutes.
Right,
he meant 2 rounds.
I meant 2 rounds.
However, Dana White recently said he thinks anybody in the UFC could take out Floyd Mayweather in less than 30 seconds. Didn't have to be Conor McGregor. He even said Paige Vanzant could take out Floyd Mayweather.
Oddly enough, that's a fight that Floyd Mayweather would sign up for.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd actually watch that. The problem is, the biggest problem with Floyd Mayweather in MMA is that he turns his back when he fights. So
it's true. I mean, he said obviously in boxing, these fighters would definitely have to start training a lot more in the boxing. But in an MMA bout, Floyd doesn't know anything.
Yeah,
and
he gives up his back immediately.
Speaking of Paige Vanzant, she has recently seen a little bit of hate on the internet. A lot of the women fighters are upset because they feel she's the pretty girl that is basically getting marketed because she's pretty.
This is what I don't understand about women, dude. Why can't they just support each other?
Some of them do, but some of them don't. Tanya Evinger, Invicta Bantamweight, says, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on. They're selling sex.
No.
A UFC bantamweight, Lauren Murphy, says, in the pure sense, of course, it's not fair. There's stuff in this sport that's not fair. Paige is getting a lot of attention for her looks and using her as a marketing tool.
Shut up. Yeah, because they didn't fucking do this with Colin Kaepernick when he emerged on the scene.
Right.
They didn't have him posing shirtless on everything that they could find possible with women swooning over it. Give me a fucking break.
Ashton Kutcher, Justin Timberlake.
Right. If women want to fight so hard for feminism and equality, they need to support each other as well. And if Paige Vanzant's going to be one of the new faces of women's mixed martial arts, then jump on the fucking wagon.
Shayna Baszler says, I've been having the same conversation when Gina was coming out. He says, yes, it'd be great if they looked at your record and decided you deserved it based on that, but you have to make money. In order for us to make money, the promoter has to make money. You don't have to be sexy, you just have to be marketable. I think there's some fighters that have this misconception that you have to be a hot, sexy girl is the only way to market themselves. That might be a turnoff for them right away because they don't want to go out and do that, or they don't think they can. Well, I'm above it, but let's be honest. If you could, you would.
All right, I'm not arguing with that. But
so that's Shayna Baszler saying basically you don't have to be one of these, obviously you don't have to use it as marketing. There's other ways to market yourself as a good fighter.
Like win and be Cyborg.
Right.
You know what I mean? Are you going
to... Baszler, in the early days, she was kicking ass, man.
Exactly.
She was coming out of with catch wrestling and using her own submission move, became known as the Schwing.
If she came out with the ability that she had back then and had the same kind of record right now, she'd be marketed just as well.
For sure.
Who's the Happy Warrior?
That is...
the mousy girl.
Just lost her name.
Is it Modafferi?
Yes.
Yeah, Roxanne Modafferi.
Okay. Yep. Look at her marketing.
Yep.
It's completely ass backwards to the whole sexiness, the whole... She marks herself as kind of a geek.
Yeah, and it works.
And it works,
They should be supporting each other equally whenever pushes, because women's MMA is always going to have a problem. You got guys who fight MMA who still don't fully support it.
Correct.
So, the women, they need to support each other and try to push the movement forward without trying to tear each other down, because that doesn't benefit their cause.
But there are some hot-ass MMA fighters.
I ain't gonna lie, dude.
Behind, and some of the chicks ain't bad either. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because guys going out there in short shorts with rippling muscles doesn't market sex towards a female audience at all. Because that's exactly what we all want to see. I'd be perfectly fine if they came out and fought in Adidas jumpsuits.
Gis! I wish they would have stayed with gis. I was so mad when we lost the gi. I was just like, now I'm...
Yeah, because if we wouldn't have lost the gi, we would never had the Dennis Hallman incident.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Never would have been a Speedo.
Yeah. The training mask Speedo. Forever ingrained. I think it's bigger in my head, too.
The Speedo?
It's just like this.
Or Dennis Hallman.
It's like this right here.
Get it off my shoulder, Shaq.
Stop it. Come on, man.
UFC Fight Night in Poland happened over the weekend. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No.
Bits and pieces.
I watched.
I watched in between fights. I have not watched.
I have to watch the main card.
Yeah.
Matt threw it up on Fives Pass at the house when we were barbecuing. But
very nice.
Yeah.
Didn't get to see a whole lot of it.
Off the main card, you have Mariana Moroz over Joanne Calderwood. Joanne Calderwood said that she was dealing with a lot of personal problems, was mentally defeated before she even got into the cage, and promises to come back stronger. Did you guys? She definitely did not look like herself.
No, I was really surprised with the way everything kind of went down with that fight.
Yeah,
because it like we were just saying, she gave up her back real quick.
Yeah, she said she just wasn't in the fight. She's been having some personal issues. She didn't want to go into them, but she said
just gave up.
She probably shouldn't have taken the fight, but she didn't want to do that to the fans.
Right.
She wanted to at least show up.
Yeah, but I did want to talk about the prelim, Alexandra Albu. Okay. That was vicious. It was a vicious choke, guillotine.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
All right, I'll check that out. Palwalk up against Sheldon Westcott, unanimous decision. Jimmy Manuel over John Balakowicz, unanimous decision as well. And then, of course, you have your main event. Mirko Krokop-Flipovic defeats Gabriel Paige Vanzant.
Gets his revenge.
3 minutes, 30 seconds of the third round. TKO, elbows and punches.
So are we going for a trilogy here?
Those elbows were pretty vicious.
They were, dude.
Dude, it was bad.
And he cut him up pretty good.
Yeah.
So a trilogy in a year?
He said for sure that this was Mirko. He said he was definitely training the elbows. He knew it once he got him to the ground, he didn't want to get submitted, so he was just going to start throwing heavy elbows.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell we posted pre and post op getting his face stitched back together. It's horrible.
Wow.
It starts above his eye.
Yeah.
And even though
and then it like curves.
and then there's a cut on his nose that lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's pretty. It's
It's scarred for life.
Hellbows, man. Hellbows. Gotta look out for those.
Yeah, and they said because the way it was, his face was beat. That even if they did, I guess there's a tight style of stitching that they do for. He's still going to have a pretty massive scar because he just kept beating this until it like broke. It wasn't a cut. It's like he just beat him like a grape until it finally just split. Yeah,
it's like Lauzon's scar that he's got across his forehead now.
It's impressive.
So we have UFC on Fight Night on Fox 15.
15. Okay. I thought it was 16.
Going down this Saturday from Newark, New Jersey.
This is a stacked card.
Stacked card. This is going to be on Fight Pass and on Fox.
Yeah.
Big Fox, not Fox Sports 1. Big
With
Fox.
the prelim and the main card both on Fox.
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, so kicking it off on the Fight Pass is Eddie Gordon up against Chris Dempsey. I don't know where you got notes. So
I have no notes today.
Diego Brandao going up against Jimmy Hetz. I mean, Brandau's a name that we know.
Mm-hmm. Hetz was one of these up-and-coming guys that has been putting in the work. I mean, there's a lot of fights I think he should have or could have won, but I just think I'm going to take Brandao in that fight. On the first one, I think I'm going to go with Dempsey.
You're going to go with Dempsey, relatively unknown guy going up against Eddie Gordon. Okay. Yep. George Sullivan going up against Tim Means is your last card on the Fight Pass.
I like Tim Means.
I like Tim Means in this fight as well.
He's in the same case as Hedges, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be doing more, but
just not quite reaching.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll do something better in this fight. Always moving forward.
I'm still going George Sullivan.
A lot of these guys, they like maybe with Rafael Dos Anjos, maybe it's one of those things where he finally turned the corner.
Yeah.
A lot of these fighters, something clicks, and all of a sudden they catapult to the next level. Takeya Mizugaki going up against Aljamain Sterling. I'm sure you got Mizugaki.
Mizugaki's a grinder, man. He always is. Sterling's been looking pretty impressive lately. It's gonna be a tough one for actually me to call, but yeah, I think Mizugaki can grind this out. Would not surprise me though if Sterling takes this.
I'm going with Sterling.
Okay.
Corey Anderson and Gian Viante.
I'm going to go with Villante on this fight.
Yeah, I got you on that one as well. And then this should be a pretty promising fight right here.
I like this fight.
Ovince St. Preux up against Patrick Cummins. Cummins, of course, is a newcomer.
Yeah, former barista from the coffee shops.
But he lost his last minute fight up against Daniel Cormier.
But then he's won since then.
Then he came back and
won twice. And he's constantly improved.
And his last fight, he was extremely dominant.
Yeah, and constantly improved. I mean, he knows that his wrestling is so dominant. His first fight, he really didn't know what he was supposed to do, so he wrestled the guy down and just stayed on top of him in one decision. The next one, he showed some good ground and pound. He showed some good stand-up. OSP, though, is no slouch in the wrestling.
No, this is a really good test for Cummins.
Right.
I think Cummins' wrestling pedigree is quite a bit better than OSP's. I actually think I'll take Cummins in this fight.
You're going to see a lot of street-style fighting from OSP.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting.
It's a great matchup. You got a guy here who with a history with Cormier and is coming off of 2 wins, like you said. And then you got OSP, who's like one of those guys who they wanted to make a name for in Bellator or Strikeforce, I guess.
It was Strikeforce,
but didn't quite, because of the way the organization folded, didn't have enough time. And now he's come over to the UFC, and they're starting to build him up as well. So I'm really interested to see how this fight goes down. I mean, you got his record up here. He's been in the UFC for quite a few fights now.
5 fights now,
and only lost one of them.
Or, excuse me, 6 fights. He's lost 1. Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for Patrick Cummins. It's a huge test for him. I still like OSP in this, but I want to see how Patrick Cummins holds up.
Yeah, I listened to OSP last night on a Florida podcast. Just talk shit for like 20 minutes. Like gangs and shit. Like he's just going to run through them. And I mean, I didn't realize how street he really was. I mean, he is. His
name's Ovince St. Preux. How street can he be?
I know. That's what I thought too. And they started talking. I was like, wow.
Isn't he from France?
No,
or
Louisiana.
He's from Louisiana.
Who the fuck names their kids Ovince St. Preux in Louisiana?
Man,
the
Cajun.
Actually, he's from Miami.
Is he from Miami? So yeah, so that explains the Florida.
Yeah,
he's on the. But I'm serious, bro. He was street thug talking about running right
from
through
Dade
Cummins.
County.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he's from Dade County? You in trouble, Patrick.
He's a hanging Chad, bro. He's a hanging Chad.
That's some issues right there.
He needs to start coming out to Trick Daddy.
He was on Stupid
Just
News
saying.
twice.
Jim Miller going up against Benel Dariush. Jim Miller, obviously, we've seen him do a lot of things in the UFC. He's a fantastic fighter. Got great ground, great standing. I don't know a lot about Benel, though.
Benel Barouche has been doing pretty good himself. Jim Miller, I think he's coming off of an injury, or at least I can't remember the last time we saw him fight. Let's take a look.
What was a loss against Donald Cerrone? I remember that fight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, July of last year.
But even so, we know what Jim Miller's skill set is. And
he's got good stand-up. He's got good jiu-jitsu.
And if you lose against Donald Cerrone...
He's definitely a scrapper. He can keep it going.
That kind of happens to a lot of people.
Barouche is coming off of his recent win back in March over Darren Cruikshank. Got that rear naked choke. He is on a 3-fight winning streak. I actually think I might take Barouche on this fight just because of the layoff of Jim Miller. That kind of worries me.
Huge deal. It's kind of worries me. And I know you've actually been on Dariush's side over the last couple of fights that he's been in as well. You like the style, you like the up and comer that he was. I still don't feel like I know enough about him, but looking at the comparison of the layoff and things of that nature, I probably have to go with you with Dariush.
All right.
Felice Herrig is going up against Paige Vanzant. This is a battle of the beauties. Call me sexist if you want, but I mean, let's be realistic here. These girls are both. They have a lot of Instagram followers for a reason. Can I just say that? That makes sense?
Hotter than chili pepper sprouts.
So, I mean...
This is your first fight on the main card, by the way.
Yes, but it's still on Fox, so don't change the channel. I have a hard time here because I don't really... I had high hopes for Felice Herrig when she came in, and then she
got great Muay Thai.
Yeah, and she kind of failed. Paige Vanzant being, so young, has a lot to offer the sport, too.
And she gives up a lot in reach, if I'm not mistaken.
Paige gives up reach?
Yeah.
Oh, they're both tiny.
Yeah, but Felice is a little bit longer, I believe.
I like Felice's Muay Thai game. I do feel she does seem to have a little bit of cardio issues at times, at least the couple times that I've seen her fight recently, obviously in the UFC. I think Paige overall will have better cardio and might be able to take this into later rounds and win this fight. It's going to be that definitely Felice Herrig is a big name for her.
Well, I'm mad at Felice Herrig because she owes us bracelets.
And hasn't even contacted us.
Won't even respond to my Instagram messages.
Or tweets.
My creeper status stuff. But Felice definitely has a stronger jaw out of these two. So it's tough, but
I'm going to go Vanzant.
I'm going to go Felice.
All right.
Because I don't think that Vanzant can finish Felice. And that's where I think that it's going to come into play.
I don't think there's a man in this room that could finish Felice.
Puts the lotion on its skin whenever it's... Run, Felice! Run! And then, of course, moving on from there, you got Cub Swanson up against Max Holloway. This is a great matchup, too.
This is an amazing fight. Yeah, I really like this fight. I go back and forth. I think I'm going to take Holloway into this. I like Cub Swanson, but man,
this is going to be a fast-paced,
very fast-paced fight. I'm going to take Max Holloway. He says he just wants to stand in front of him until somebody goes down.
They always say that. They never do.
Holloway and Swanson, I think, would do it.
Possibly.
I think these are two guys that would definitely would go for it.
If we see who was that fight against in Pride back in the day when they did that?
Oh yeah,
the hockey fight.
Yeah, that was Don Fry.
Don Fry. I had Severance stuck in my head for some reason. Don Fry and the other guy. They had the hockey fight, Takayama. So if they do that, I'll be all for it. I don't care who falls at that point, but I'm Cub Swanson on this one. And then jumping up to one of my favorite fighters, Ronaldo Jacare Souza up against Chris Camozzi.
Yeah. Now Yoel Romero was supposed to be in this fight. He has been recently pulled from this, and Chris Camozzi stepped up on short notice.
Bad idea.
Chris Camozzi's got nothing to lose. Jacare's got everything to lose. This was originally supposed to be like a middleweight mini tournament. You have obviously the main event with Machida and Rocco. We'll get to in a second, and then Jacare going up against Yoel Romero. This was supposed to be who's going to be going up against Vitor and or Weidman. However, I don't know what to say now.
So whoever they weren't going to have the winner of these two matches fight each other for the number one contender?
It's whoever was most impressive would be getting a shot at Weidman and or Belfort. However, now that you have Camozzi jumping into this, basically kind of jumping into a spot in line, do you think if he wins, he immediately gets the shot? Do you feel that if Jacare wins, it's not going to be enough and he doesn't get the shot? I mean, how do you feel about that?
It probably depends on how devastating of a win it is. I mean, if Chris Camozzi comes out here and just annihilates Jacare Souza, then yeah, we have a contender.
Okay.
If Jacare comes out here and has trouble with Camozzi and still wins, then no.
Now, they have fought before, and it was actually relatively recently, and Camozzi did lose that fight. He actually called for this fight. He wanted this as a rematch. They fought back in May of 2013, where Camozzi lost due to an arm triangle
in the first round.
So you're saying if there's a winner by split decision, regardless of who wins, that person really doesn't deserve a shot.
Definitely.
Probably wouldn't be getting a title as long as the other fight goes to a decision. The main event.
Right.
I mean,
realistically, I think
I'm taking Jacare in this fight, so we can
100%
move past that.
But at the same time, it's really hard for as much as I love Jacare as a fighter, and I've met him, he's a nice guy. But like Luke Rockhold and Machida, like damn, it's hard to give Jacare a shot over that. But really, I don't want to see Machida go for the title. You know, if Luke
he already
Rockhold,
went for the title,
not
and
right,
he lost,
but not right now. But not right now.
I know, like I'm saying, he already got his shot.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see either Jacare or Rockhold go for that title.
And they haven't fought each other?
Nope.
How the fuck have they not fought each other?
Jacare and
back in the day, and Rockhold won.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That was a while ago, though.
That was a while. That was back in Strikeforce, and that was for the middleweight championship. That was when Rockhold took Jacare's middleweight.
I want to see that fight again. That's
that
the fight I
want
to see again. Yeah, so I mean, I'm going with Jacare, and then in the main event, I want Rockhold to win.
You're gonna take Rockhold?
It's that simple. I just want him to win.
I think he can do it. I definitely think he can. I mean, you got to figure out. Obviously, they always say you got to figure out the puzzle that is Machida. What kind of fighter is he going to come in? He's going to be super defensive. He's going to be super elusive.
I don't know. Machida's gone from
he's tending more to. I don't know, stand and bang with guys. He's starting to strike a little bit more. He's starting to get in a little bit further and not always stick to that defense.
Because he's getting old.
That's what I'm saying. This is the wrong time in your career to decide, I'm going to take damage.
Yeah, seriously. No, he's gone from like a 500-piece 3D puzzle to like a 24-piece kids puzzle at this point in time. You know, so it's like he went from being like a puzzle to Empire State Building to being a Disney princess puzzle.
Yeah, he's hell easy. You just do all the edges first.
Just work the edges.
I'm not saying he's really that easy, but I really want Rockhold to win this fight. And I'd like Jacare and Rockhold to fight again, too. That'd be awesome.
That'd be a sweet fight.
You know, if Rockhold goes for the title after this and then he wins and then Jacare has to fight for the title, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be great.
But who knows what's going to happen? That's what the thing we love about this sport. We never know what's going to happen. Make sure you check it out tomorrow night. It is Ultimate Fight Night 15 on Fox. It's going to be an exciting card. Super stacked. So, yeah, with that being said, make sure you tell your friends. Download us on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, Split Decision MMA Podcast, or SplitDecisionMMA.com, is our official website. And on iTunes, you can subscribe. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at SD_MMA. You can also get us on Facebook. Throw us a like, Split Decision MMA Podcast. That's what that one is. And then check out Americana.rocks if you want some MMA apparel. And that's about it. From the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios, it is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.